This was a high-resolution image before I put it into my video editing program. Anywho, I have to figure how that got blurry there. Dawn of the Mirror Tribe. Her name is Dawn. Time-lapse drawing by Noble Rick. Alright, let's talk about setup. Now what I'm doing here is a time-lapse of me inking over a drawing or a sketch that I had done previously. I've done the sketch and this inking inside a program called Clip Studio Paint Pro. It's about $50 when I bought it. I had been using a free program. If you want a free program, I hear Krita is good. I did not use Krita. I use GIMP. I had been using GIMP in the past, and there's a lot of tutorials online for GIMP as well. But this program is made for manga and for comic book art drawing, so that's why I bit the bullet and decided to buy this program. The setup. Go to Windows at the menu at the top and choose New Window. What that does, it does not give you a new window per se, but rather a doppelganger of the original window. And as you may notice, as I'm drawing on the left, the doppelganger on the right gets the lines as well. I've noticed though that when you draw the line and then let go of the pen, that the line will appear on the right. Now I simply dampened, or rather I reduced the opacity of the sketch, which is layer 1 on the right there. And if you select layer 1 and you'll see that little bar graph in the middle on the right that says 100. If you go to your sketch and reduce it down to whatever percentage, 50, 25, whichever percentage looks good to your eyes, that'll allow you to soften it rather than having it stark black. So you can see your ink over the drawing, over the sketch. I used to use blue back in the day, but in the 21st century, inside of a computer, there is no need to use blue ink or pencil for your sketch. I just simply reduce the opacity. There I just made the background. I made another layer for the paper and made it white so I can see better. GIMP. GIMP was a cool program. It's a free program. You may want to consider using it to draw with. I hear it's Krita. Forgive me for mispronouncing it. But here I'm using Clip Studio Pro, so everything I'm saying from here on will be about Clip Studio Pro and how to use it. Now, this is comic book art. I do have a comic on Webtoons called The Lovely Grounded Fairies. I may be getting back to that soon. It's in hiatus right now. Chocolatey Locket is upgrading the story, the book, from which it is inspired. So as that's done, I may be getting back to drawing The Lovely Grounded Fairies. So check it out. It's at Webtoons online. Let's talk about shortcut keys in Clip Studio Paint. Here I'm using an eraser. You may have just saw. And you get that by hitting the E key on your keyboard. And you click in one spot and you shift to make a long line that will cut into whatever you want to erase. But instead of erasing, I like to use a marquee, perhaps more often. If you've got a big area to erase, you may want to use the marquee tool, and that is M on the keyboard, the letter M. And that gives you the marquee key, or marquee tool. And what that does, it allows you to select an area, a big area, and just erase it or delete it rather than just erasing it. As I'm doing here, I'm using the erase tool quite a bit there. Another great key shortcut is R on the keyboard. That gives you the rotate tool. That allows you to rotate the paper, as you see me doing there, to make the stroke at the right angle. more comfortable for your hand. This is a video. I'm going to cut out a couple of things here. I'm going to cut out the inking of the rock beneath her, and I'm going to cut out the inking of her hair to save time. For those of you who have triskaidekaphobia, the fear of the number 13, this video is just going to be a little bit longer than 13 minutes. That's why I cut out the rock in the hair, to save your viewing time, so that you may enjoy it better. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more of this. This is the inking, or speed drawing, in this case speed inking. This is an OC, an original creation of my niece. She's making a story. Wanted me to draw her character. She's got 3 others. If you want to see more of this, let me know. I may record the other 3. The other 3 as a video as well. This person is a member of the Mirror tribe. That is the mermaid tribe, the people of the water. In her story, my niece's story, the world is in a post-apocalyptic state. And to survive, people adapt to their environment, perhaps more so than they do today. And you have the Mirror tribe, and who adapted to the water, and other tribes who adapted to other biomes. It's a little Minecraft lingo there. Now, another thing I want to bring to your attention is, and this is done in the tool menu to the left. As I'm drawing these lines, I'm drawing them anti-aliased, or anti-aliasing. And that's because when you anti-alias something, this is not anti-alias, the opposite of it. You do that by choosing hard, I think it is, on the toolbar to your left. But if you use soft, you'll get an anti-aliasing effect, and what that is the very edges of your line will actually be grayed out, be blurred. And you do not want that if you want to color your image. And as a rule, I try not to anti-alias anything, anti-alias my inking, but rather have the edges zigzaggy, so that any pixel in this ink will be 100% dark. There will be no gray. And that allows you to color it better. It allows the color to overlap, it allows the color to butt up against your pixels, your ink pencils. Here I'm using the marquee tool to erase a big section. And then of course I trim it up. You can use the erase tool and the pen tool very similarly. If you want to make a straight line, you can do that with the shift key, both in the eraser and the pen tool. I probably should have made the line thicker. If you look to the right, it's kind of coming in, but it does seem like our lines are thin. Some of my favorite artists for style. I like the style of Joe Madureira, however you pronounce that. He's a comic book artist in America. Comic book artist in Japan that I like is Takahashi Rumiko, excuse me, not Rubik's, but that's a game. Takahashi Yumiko. I'm probably not saying that right, but she's the artist who did Inuyasha and several other works. These are 2 of my favorite artists for their style. And I need to be studying them more. That's a good rule of thumb. I think as an artist, this is probably rule number 1. Copy things. Get a sketchbook, get your pencil to the paper, and just copy things. Of course you should draw from your imagination, But you should first copy things. That's how you learn. Copy not only nature, that's number one, copy nature. But number two, copy your favorite artists to learn their style. Your favorite inkers to learn how to better ink, which is something I apparently need to do right now. This is a little octopi. She was looking down, so I thought I should have her looking at something. Little octopi climbing up her staff. I'll be finishing up with her face. Her face reminds me of a couple of celebrities, one in the States and one in Korea. You'll probably never guess who they are. But who do you think she looks like? Let me know in the descriptions below. Again, this is an original creation. The story is not created at the moment. My niece is working on it. Her writing her story. And this is Dawn, the mother of apparently the mother of all the characters in the story. This is Dawn of the Mirror tribe, the Water People tribe. Her eyebrows. Just got to try to make those look like they match each other. Symmetry. The face has symmetry. A healthy looking face. One side looks like the other. Of course, when a face is turned like this one is, I guess you would call this the 3/4 turn or quarter turn. Anyway, her face is turned away from looking directly at you. And so there will be a little bit of foreshortening, that is, the objects that are further away from you, though they may be identical to one another, one eye to the other, for example, they may look a little slightly smaller because they're further away from you, the items that are further away from you. So the eye that is further away from you may look a little smaller than the one that's closer to you. There's an angle, a tilt to the face, so the eye line will reflect that angle. Put a little shadow on her nose. Thought that was cute. I've seen comic book artists do that before. It might be a little heavy, but it does make or emphasize the smallness of her nose. That is a feature I've noticed in Korean faces. This is a feature that I notice in Korean faces that I find adorable. A young lady will have a tiny nose and a mouth when at rest, just as tiny. Adorable. But I digress. And you're probably glad I come back to what I'm talking about. Here I got her hair made. That's about it. I hope you enjoy this. And here's Dawn of the Mirror tribe. Thanks for watching.